Alright, welcome back to the channel. I am just Meek on deck. You know what, you guys, I was thinking? I haven't really focused on the spiritual here lately. And as I witness all of this evilness that's taking place all over the world in regards to the plague that they unleashed on us, how doctors seem to have lost their mind, actively taking a role, you know, in this horrible conspiracy to deny people treatment, you know, and just ignore the Hippocratic oath that they had taken to treat people, to heal people, and to allow people to die. And speaking with my coworker this morning before I left work, he tries so hard to speak to some of these individuals, and I keep telling him, look, just leave them alone. They are so far gone. No matter what you say, they will not believe you. And it got me to thinking, being that we are in the end times, are we living in the time where God has sent these people a strong delusion because they loved not the truth? Let's look at that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's back up, because with prophecy, sometimes you have to dig, you have to go back into Revelations to understand who this person is that's coming, who will be engaged in this great wickedness, which we seen take place during the before the Reformation period and during the Reformation period, as the church was severely persecuted and she had to run to the wilderness, you know, to seek refuge. The devil was actively trying to stamp out that light, but God preserved it. But in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, we see in chapter 4, this individual opposeth God, you know, and not only that, but listen to what it says. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. There's only one church on this earth that has done this. This person sits on a throne. He actually has a chair with two covering cherubs over his chair. One of his chairs. It also says in 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. This mystery of iniquity has been working for a long time. The mystery religions that Freemasonry is involved in. You know, some people get caught up into believing that they have this special knowledge, you know, which is really no special knowledge, but another way that the devil has led them astray by twisting up the scriptures. See, when you don't learn the scriptures for yourself, people can take things out of context and deceive you Trust me, I am a living witness of that. It is very, very important that you read and you study these scriptures for yourself, so you won't get caught up into nothing like that. Look at here in verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. What are we witnessing today? We are seeing so-called educated people tell us that men can have babies now. We are seeing so-called educated people actively involve themselves in the delusion and help the delusion going by referring to biological male as she. You know, it's just insane. It's like we're living in, I don't know, an altered universe. But it's kind of like what Hitler said. When you keep pounding the lie so much, over and over and over again, just like the Russian collusion hoax, the people will believe a lie. And when those people are automatically prone to not research for themselves, they will believe that lie. And unfortunately, that's the state of the black community. In Revelation chapter 18, we find that Mystery Babylon, this great harlot, this apostate church, deceives everyone. For by her sorcery shall the nations be deceived. We've seen Joe Biden come out and introduce us to these mandates with no authority, no law, no nothing. And these big companies jump right out in the forefront and start pushing these things on their employees. And now the people are rising up and fighting back. We see parents, praise God, are rising up and fighting back for their children. What about the father that was arrested at the school board in regards to this whole transgender identity thing that they are unleashing on these children, allowing boys to go into girls' bathrooms and locker rooms? Well, lo and behold, this father was trying to speak out and was arrested because his daughter was raped. And you know what? This kid that was allegedly identifying as a female has done this before. He quietly transferred from another school, came to the school where his daughter was, and committed the same act. And then finally that student was arrested. But the school board didn't want to hear nothing of this. You know, they cared nothing for your children. Look at all these people that are engaged in this wickedness, that do not care about us. United we stand. It is time for all of us that are called by his name to unite together and fight back, to fight for this country. It's unfortunate that the black community will lose their mind by the indoctrination of all this white supremacy and the white man this and the white man that. But they love the culture, the thing that is destroying them. You know, it is so sad, but God is light, and what's done in the dark will always be brought to the light. This is something that I always tell my son. My son, and I'm pretty sure most children try to get over on their parents. And parents give them that, you know, that look, and we listen. But I always tell my son, you know, okay, What you do now, it will eventually come out. And we just witnessed this again with a little incident we went through over the weekend. Because he gets to run in his mouth, and then eventually the truth comes out. And this is true of what's going on and what's being unleashed on the people all over the world. When you let these people talk long enough, like the Dr. Fauci's and all the people involved in this scandal where they are stealing our freedoms and trying to take the United States to a third world country, you let them speak long enough, they begin to get caught in their lies, because you can only keep a lie going for so long, and then you have to tell another lie to cover that lie, and then boom, it blows up in your face, and then everybody is looking at you like the emperor has no clothes on. But we, as the children of God, have to be vigilant. We have to continue to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And it's unfortunate that many so-called believers have forgotten that. We can't get caught up in the things that's going on in this world. Like I've told you before, we have to put our seatbelts on and buckle up, because it's going to get a whole lot rougher. Right now, it's under the guise of the plague, this mandate. But pretty soon it's going to turn into something spiritual, as this man of sin comes on the scene and profess to be the one to cure all our ills. You know, then it's going to turn into something spiritual. Those who will receive not the mark or the number of his name, you know, shall not be able to buy, sell, eat, live. Yes, my friends, prophecy is being fulfilled before our very eyes. And it's high time, well past high time, for us to awake out of sleep. Everybody is not going to be saved. Yes, this gospel is going out all over the world, but is everybody going to be saved? No, because people love not the truth. They love not the truth. This is why God has sent them a strong delusion. This is why people are professing today that men can have babies, which is impossible. Impossible. But I just wanted to come on here and give you my 2 cents, and to remind you not to get caught up in the things that are soon to be upon us, with the shortages that you will witness in the grocery stores, back to the long lines, being rationed toilet paper, you know, and cleaning supplies and all these things, limited to how much meat you could buy. And pretty soon, as they say, we won't be eating meat. They want us to eat bugs. You know, it's just crazy. Looking at those ships that can't dock and unload. Listening to how China has bought up several ports, like in Long Beach and in various states. And how when one member of that ship tests for corona, they have to go all the way back, get a new crew, and it's just ridiculous. Strategically planned, design, build back better to the Great Reset. Destroy everything that Trump has done to lead us to prosperity and greatness. Yes, that is Joe Biden's agenda. People think he's a failure. No, he is very successful. I used to think Obama was the worst president, but he was not the worst president. He was successful in what he was doing, fundamentally changing America. I thought nobody could get no worse than Obama until Biden came along. But he has far surpassed Obama and what he is doing to this country. And people, it's just like they have no common sense. Now they're starting to wake up and say, hey, wait a minute. There's not even a OSHA law passed. But he just simply stated, you're mandated to get this vaccine. And if you don't get it by a certain period of time, these companies are saying, you are terminated. We are still under emergency use authorization vaccine. Comirnaty, which is the FDA approved vaccine, is not even on the market yet. They did the bait and switch. See, when you love not the truth, you won't even search for the truth. You just keep eating those lies. And unfortunately, this is the majority of my co-workers. And unfortunately, I hate to say, the majority of these people are black. You know, and you sit there and you try to witness to them and show them the light, and they look at you like a deer in headlights. Well, my friends, we have to reach those whom we can, and those whom we cannot, we just have to pray for them. But that's how I'm going to end it. This is something for you to ponder, and I will see you on the next one.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Come on.